call the meeting to order. So it's Tuesday, March 11, 2014, at the Village of Valemount. It's our regular council meeting. Our vision is striving for a vibrant and balanced community, and that's our mission to serve the community and embrace opportunity. We'll begin with the adoption of the agenda. Any additions or deletions? Okay. Councillor Salt, Councillor Bullock, all in favor? Great. A number of minutes to adopt from the February 25th regular council meeting of council. We will put it on the floor and we'll see if there's any changes. Councillor Blanchette, Councillor Latimer, any additions, deletions? All in favor? 3.2, minutes from the February 25th, 2014 public hearing for the Three Ranges Brewery Company's application for a brewery lounge endorsement. Councillor Blanchette, Councillor Salt. Any changes? Yeah. All in favor? Okay. Moving on to 5, unfinished business. This is development variance permit 0114, and it's regarding the parking issue for Three Ranges Brewing Company. It's in the agenda on pages 18 to 41. The staff recommendation is that we authorize staff to issue DVP 0114 to Three Ranges Brewing Company. And I'd like to put that on the floor. I'll move that. Second report? Yeah. Okay. Let's chat. And discussion? Kind of hash it out. Council.
From a staff perspective, I just want to make aware to council letters that came in regarding DP 114.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, that's okay with council.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
There was the one that already went to council from Peter Felmark. So you're aware of that, just briefly for the public. Peter Felmark had concerns regarding the number of parking spaces. He was outlining what was in the report to council and just stating that he was concerned that it was important to have 13 stalls. So that was Peter Felmark's. We received one this morning from Paul Johnson. I'm writing in regard to the Three Ranges Brewing Company's application for the parking variance. I'm in full support of the application. I believe that there's sufficient parking in the area to handle the customers that this will attract. Also due to the excellent location of the brewery, I believe many people will be walking from their homes and not driving at all. Thank you, Paul Johnson. Laura Johnson wrote, I, Laura Johnson, support the Three Ranges Brewery in their variance they've applied for. Amy Hollie wrote, I'm in full support of the variance for the Three Ranges Brewery. And that's it in summary.
All right. So with those, council, we've got it on the floor. Further discussion required? We should go on the vote. All in favor? Okay. Moving on to correspondence for action. We've got a request from Gord Peters to honor Matthew Morrison. And that request is essentially, so Valemount has, I don't know if we mentioned anything, we have an Olympian. We had a guy who went to participate in the Olympics. And a very high-ranking snowboarder. And did anybody get to see his? No. Yeah. So I was the only one that broke it like that. Full access. Right. So, that was funny timing on that. So, yeah. It's all good. Anyways, yeah, I totally love this idea of extending congratulations and the idea, Gord's idea is to propose Matthew Morrison Day. The village has a policy of not doing proclamations. It's an old one. I was sort of going back and forth with staff. Back in the day, I can set this up because I was here in the days when it was, various groups would come in and say, we want this to be recognized. And the fear was always some wingnut group would come in and do, and put the village or whatever, and this happened in cities across British Columbia, put them in a weird space where they didn't really feel really comfortable. And for me, and I mean, the sort of rhetoric at the time was, if we do a Biblical Truth Day, then we'll have to do, it gets out that far, and then we have to do like a, a devil worship day or whatever. And like that. So I think that if it comes up, if we have an opportunity to review it, I think we should take a look at that proclamation thing. I think it's a good thing. But I also think maybe we should give this one to staff and think about, or actually really turn it over to the community, I think, and think about what's a good way to celebrate Matthew Morrison. Not just the council doing that, but yeah, your thoughts?
My question was, who would put on this event and declare it Matthew Morrison Day? I mean, it wouldn't be us, it would be an organization.
Right.
Do we know if Matthew even wanted this? I know a source very close to him said he does not want this.
Oh, okay.
But this was not his wish, so
Okay.
that's just what I heard from a source very close to him.
Oh.
So maybe we should leave it to his friends and family. We surely would attend and we'd be really proud to, but this sounds like something that family and friends would do for him.
All right. Well, I definitely agree with your approach. We need to see what's going on. Okay, so we'll pass on. Why don't we just resolve to congratulate him for his hard work right here, right now? Okay? Yeah. A tremendous amount of work, so. All right, congratulations to Matthew Morrison.
Are you motioning that?
Do we need a motion? Because it's really a non-action.
Okay, if you just want to have it be a conversation here for sure.
Unless you want something to send.
Oh, well, let's resolution send a letter. Councillor Saltz? Yeah. Councillor Latimer, and all in favor? And I know Braden hates us when we just leave him with write a congratulatory letter, so any ideas what should be in it? Sorry guys.
Can I read back the resolution I've got?
Yeah.
The council resolves to congratulate Matthew Morrison on his hard work and direct staff to write Matthew a letter of congratulations.
Let's do it. Bingo, all in favor? All right. That's what we do with letters by committee. Okay, there is a request for donation from Omar Medina, pages 43 to 48.
The next one again?
The next one, that's right. Eyes of the future.
So this
Yeah.
is happening on Saturday, right?
I believe so.
Yes, in Edmonton.
Yeah.
Do we have anything we can send along for the silent auction?
In the past, we've done, we've had some t-shirts or sweatshirts or something like that.
Usually we purchase something from upstairs.
Yeah.
Coffee mugs.
Yeah, we have a few of those, I'm sure. We support our local potter and wood turner and all that. It's
Okay.
gone in the past.
Upstairs or Crafters Guild? Is it, do you mind if we tap staff for a little bit of work to?
We can do that. We do have a policy that says that the limit is $25 per individual.
Okay.
But we can keep it under that.
Sure. Okay. Humble, but we'll do something. Yeah, I'd really love to go and be there this weekend, but I've got this, it's really tough for me to drive long distances. Apparently it gives you blood clots. That's great. Resolve, Councillor Blanchette, Councillor Bullock, all in favor. Great.
Got that resolution, right?
Okay, moving on to the reading file. A big one. Anything that you guys want to pull up in particular? I'll just start with the Arrow Lakes. I think this is one of the cases where we don't have the capacity to go and help with their water use, not the water use plan for the Arrow Lakes. Yeah, I mean, it's really nice. You know, I think it's one of those things kind of interesting where they give us the opportunity to put in input, but there's no way we would have resources to do it. So it's kind of one of those full consultation things in a way. I'm sure that's not the intent. But I thought I'd just mention that because I think that's probably kind of what some of our partners feel like sometimes when we ask them to consult on something and they're like, yeah, just surviving. Okay, well, let's not dwell on it too long. Let's, oh, the second from the end here, the change in the BC local government election cycles. Yeah.
4 years.
4 years,
0
to
to
the next council. So anyone planning on running, and have a 4-year term, from now on. But I did like the quote that Minister Corley Oak said, and I think we have experienced this in some of the past councils. She said, "My experience as a municipal councillor convinced me that to succeed in today's complex world, local governments need enough time to plan and complete projects that build strong, inclusive communities. I'm confident this change, supported by UBCM and the task force, will help local governments continue to make BC's communities great places to live and work."
Yeah, agree. I just want to just say a little piece on that. I think like I know when you say, I had an exchange with Coquitlam where the mayor was just saying he's really happy with this because when he does his election campaign, he raises $100,000. That's typical for what the mayors of those kind of cities raise. And that's just a heck of a lot of money on signs and everything else every 4 years. And it was a total thing. I never thought about that sort of aspect for it. For me, it was just kind of, I've seen in the past where Valemount's had acclamation, you know, ongoing, and I don't like that. And I remember there was a big change from the 2-year to the 3-year, sort of a 2-year overlapping thing. So I don't know what's right, but I'm kind of, what I worry, my concern is, and it's really too late to voice this with the powers that be, but it's just like 4 years may push more people away, right? Because it's like, you really have to know what you're doing for 4 years, right? Which in a small town like ours, it's tough to know.
But 4 years also gives you time to learn what you're doing. We all got thrown.
Made for better councils, yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
I think it's good and bad, right? Yeah, that's how you look at it.
Anything else to raise from the readings file? If not, I'll move to accept the reading file. Thank you, Councillor Latimer. All in favor? Okay. So the next item is the Three Ranges Brewing Company Brewery Lounge endorsement. That's the next 33 pages on their agenda. And what I've got before me is just the entire resolution. And it's important that we read this out. So I'll read out from staff before to put this on the table. So this is going to be my motion. A highly formulaic resolution that's crafted by, in part, the template is provided by the authorities that set up what you need to do if you're on. I'll just see if the corporate officer has anything to add.
Would you like me to read it out?
No, I want to read it.
You want to read it? That's what you want?
Yeah.
Before you read it out, you could either put it on the floor with the second, and then I can go through the letters to support or opposition, or I can go through those first.
Well, let's get it on the floor. So I'm going to read it on the floor and then we'll...
This one, it's the updated version.
Good. Okay, and there's a little more. You got it here. Because there was some new input this morning on that.
Based on the two members of the board today.
Right. Okay. Be it resolved that 1. The Council of the Village of Valemount recommends the issuance of the brewery lounge endorsement to Three Ranges Brewery Company for the following reasons. A, the brewery lounge endorsements will help to create a vibrant downtown core. B, the brewery lounge endorsement will boost tourism in Valemount and the Robson Valley. C, the brewery lounge endorsement will create additional jobs. D, the brewery lounge endorsement will attract citizens and tourists to downtown core over a greater range of hours. E, the brewery lounge endorsement is supported by the majority of residents and businesses within 0.8 kilometers or a half mile of the Three Ranges Brewing Company. The Council's comments on the prescribed considerations are as follows. A, the location of the lounge patio area. The location of the lounge is within the primary manufacturing facility. It has an interior and a patio area. It is located within the central commercial or C1 zone, which allows for a lounge and patio. The proximity of the lounge the proximity of the lounge patio area to other social or recreational facilities and buildings. The only nearby social, recreational, and public buildings do not conflict with the operation of a brewery lounge patio area. C, in the case of the lounge patio area, the person capacity, the maximum person capacity of the lounge patio is 53 persons. Council is in support of this capacity. D, the proposed hours of the patio lounge area. Hours of liquor service are to be from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. Council is in support of these hours. B, traffic, noise, parking, and zoning. The Three Ranges Brewery Company currently has a manufacturer's liquor license, as allowed by a manufacturer's license. The Three Ranges Brewery Company has been operating a sampling room and on-site retail store since December 6, 2013. The sampling room and on-site retail store have had a negligible impact on traffic, noise, and parking. It is expected that the lounge patio area will also have a negligible impact on traffic, noise, and parking. Should noise from the outdoor patio become an issue, the village will be able to address the issue using its noise control bylaw. Of note, the Three Ranges Brewing Company is located within the central commercial C1 zone, which allows for a lounge and a patio. F, the impact on the community if the application is approved. If the application is approved, the impact on the community is expected to be positive. The Three Ranges Brewing Company would be the only microbrewery with a lounge patio area in Valemount and the Robson Valley, thereby supporting a growth in tourism. Further, the Three Ranges Brewing Company lounge patio area will help to create a vibrant downtown core, which currently has numerous vacant properties and buildings. Finally, the Three Ranges Brewing Company lounge patio area will create additional jobs within Valemount. 3. The comments on the views of residents are as follows. Written views of residents within 0.8 kilometers, a half mile of the proposed lounge patio area, were solicited via advertisements in 2 consecutive newspapers. A 4-foot by 8-foot sign posted at the location of the proposed lounge patio area, and letters mailed to nearby residents, including business owners. Residents were given 35 days from the date of the first newspaper advertisement to provide their written views. A public hearing was also held at 6:30 on February 25, 2014 in the Village of Valemount Council Chambers for residents to present their views directly to council. A total of 8 written responses were received from businesses and residents. 6 in support of the application and 2 in opposition to the application. The 6 letters in support of the application cited a nice addition, improvement to the downtown area, responsible owners of Three Ranges Brewing Company, the creation of new jobs and business opportunities, and great support from the community. Of note, one of the 2 letters of support indicated that any kind of business opening in Valemount is welcome by us, but also requested that the village look into dust caused by potential traffic in the back alleyway in between 4th Avenue and 5th Avenue behind the Three Ranges Brewing Company. The 2 letters in opposition cited lack of parking, potential increased use of the back alleyway, and potential inebriation as rationale for not supporting the application. At the public hearing at 6:30 on February 25th, 4 residents expressed their views on the application. 2 of these residents live within 0.8 kilometers, or a half mile, of the lounge patio area. Both of these residents were in full and total support of the application. The other 2 views were expressed by residents of the regional district of Fraser Fort George, which is outside of the half-mile area. These residents were also in support of the application, citing great asset to the downtown core and for people coming off the highway. The lounge and patio area would really help in full support. Based on the input received by residents and businesses within 0.8 kilometers of the proposed lounge patio area, 80% of residents and businesses, 8 out of 10 responses, are in support of the application. The following concerns that pertain to the village have been raised. First is the potential for dust caused by the traffic along the back alleyway behind the lounge patio area. Of note, council considers the issue of dust air pollution to be a broader issue within Valemount, not specific to this location. Second is the issue of parking. Of note, council has addressed the issue of parking for the Three Ranges Brewing Company through the development variance permit process. Third is the issue of potential increased use of the back alleyway. Of note, council will schedule an update of the village traffic bylaw in the 2013-2017 strategic plan. If necessary, the use of the back alleyways can be addressed during this update. Council is of the view that with the above residential and business support, the proposed lounge patio endorsement would improve the downtown core, boost tourism in Valemount and the Robson Valley, and create additional local jobs. Council recommends that the brewery lounge endorsement be issued to the three rangers for. So that's moving it. We got a second. Okay, so you wanted to address speak to the letters.
Yes, please. Thank you, Your Worship. Just going to briefly summarize the letters that came in, both for and against. 3 of those were presented to council in the agenda, and then the remaining came in since the agenda was published on Friday. So the first 2 I will do in opposition. First is from Peter Felmark, who had concerns, his sole concern was about parking and the need for parking in the downtown area. The second was from, forgive me if I pronounce this wrong, Teresa Kola-Ismo, 1195 4th Avenue. Can you correct me? Is it wrong there?
Tessa Collismo, as I know it.
Thank you.
Tessa.
And just for the benefit of council, quickly summarize this. I'll just quote, I have lived at this property for over 15 years. I do have some concerns about the parking at Three Ranges Brewing and the control over drunk patrons walking around. My backyard is directly behind this business, and I have a teenage daughter and her friends that hang out. Our backyard is for relaxation, gardening, and family, many projects. Not for peeking around the corner to see who is out there having a smoke or just sitting by the car. So we can go to our backyard, suntan, or even go to the greenhouse. Yes, I put up a privacy fence, but we just rebuilt our fence last year. I'm concerned about controlling the back alley and the vacant lot for parking, and the steel black barrier that's in the back alley. And how's the village going to control parking? I just see accidents happening. Our fence was hit by a supplier when the previous owners were in that building. I think this needs to be looked at from all angles. Thank you for your time. I've already summarized the letter from Paul Johnson in support of both the variance that council recently just approved and the brewery lounge endorsement. Along that letter from Clayton G, who cites benefits to the economy and supporting Valemount towards progress and growth. And this is a really positive step forward in the village to be able to sit on the patio and enjoy the natural scenery, and to improve the stagnation that we see on 5th Avenue. That the brewery would create activity and additional hours in a relatively abandoned street. So Clayton G is in full support. You've already seen the letter from Irene Dunweiler that was in the agenda in full support. Laura Johnson had a very brief letter in full support, as did David Bullock. And the last letter, just to quickly touch on, is a letter from Danielle and, is it Cecilia Levigan? Cecilia Levigan, thank you. They're also in full support of any business coming into the downtown and core, but theirs was a letter that raised concerns about dust potentially coming up from additional use on 5th Avenue. On the back alley. So that, in sum, is the letters.
Yeah. Okay. In regards to traffic in the back alleyway and the dust, it's actually quite the interesting history there, but regardless, my property, my backyard is on the same alley. And I also have concerns around dust, and we're going to need to do something about that. Right now, the property that we recently sold a piece to, or let a piece go to a local developer, people just drive through it willy-nilly, like all over the thing, and we need to look, we need to see if we can encourage people to drive through a certain part of it rather than all over it. And it's, but anyways, not, yeah, that's something else than whether there should be a brewery or a lounge endorsement, is my sense, is that probably other people in other parts of town also have this idea of dust. So
It's an ongoing issue for other towns.
Yeah, exactly.
Something we need to look at.
And if there is a lot of use on, well, anyways, there are some things that we can do.
We're gonna find a lot of people are gonna walk. It's
I hope
centrally
so.
located. You're not supposed to be drinking and driving, so I would encourage people to walk. And it's be a nice night, you walk out, have a nice beer and go home. Perfect.
Again, too, we didn't raise the point too that with this type of a license, microbrewery, that there's a limit to the amount that can be served per patron. So I don't believe there's an opportunity for people to get drunk and disorderly.
Not with a lounge endorsement, but I mean, with serving it right, there is obviously a limit with what you can serve legally, but there's no limit.
Yeah. And technically, from a technical thing, is this patio going to be sort of in a place where you're sitting on the patio and looking into people's backyards?
It's a great question. Patio faces Fifth Avenue, so it
Okay.
faces the downtown core.
Okay, so, totally safe. That could be weird.
It
Okay,
definitely would be an asset for the locals and for the tourists. One of the biggest negative responses that we get in our business is that there's nowhere to go after 6 o'clock and there's nothing to do. So we're losing a lot of tourists winter and summer
yeah.
for that reason.
And just on the other piece, I think we always love this bit. So I hope that, obviously, we try to be really accommodating to allow this new thing to happen. I think we've been, because we recognize it's a legitimate objective of the village, but we also want our new partners to work well with their neighbors. So we'll throw that on the table there and just say, this is the kind of love we're showing you, and you know what you can do to build a good relationship with your neighbors is awesome. And we don't want to start something, and we don't want to start a rift. We want to make sure that everybody's getting along. So hopefully, the work that staff and the sort of the hope that council has that this is going to be well managed and moving forward, that's he's transmitted through the owners and managers. So it's on the table. Should I call the vote? All in favor? Okay. 8.2, a very interesting report. Committees of council. Well put. For those that don't have the agenda in front of you, we have a thing from staff, a report from staff. I mean, this is something we've been working on, we know it. We're trying to become more efficient with the number of committees. I'm going to just read the background, which is hilarious. The Valemount Council currently serves on 32 active committees or boards. 17 of these are external for other organizations on which council has a seat. 6 of these are select for a specific project or a specific set of time. 8 are standing, which are permanent. And 1 is a statutory commission that we need to have. I'm not going to read the whole report, but I'll just finish with the sort of description of the 18 external committees or boards. 10 have legislative or regulatory requirements for representation. In other words, it's mandatory that they'll not have a member on a committee or board. Anyways, and there's a list here. For those of you who have the full council agenda, you can sort of see what's been going on. And then down at the bottom, there's a very nice piece on what other communities have done. I'm sure there's some that are as bad as we are. But there's a couple examples. Landspill has 2 committees. It's on the island. They're all like hanging out all the time, right? View Royal has 4. Smithers has 5 committees. Bird Lake has 3. Ladies and gentlemen. So, and there's just a little bit, the sort of the details, which I think I was glad to see them enumerated like this, because for me, I'm kind of like, well, how much work is it? But actually, yeah, it's quite a lot of work for staff, and can actually result of committees being stifled, because if you have to have a full agenda and everything all the time. So sometimes stuff should just become the council, and we deal with it every 2 weeks rather than have a council that, or have a committee that doesn't. All staff is looking for, I believe, is a chance to have a conversation on this via committee of the whole on March 25th.
That's a great idea.
Councillor Blanchette. Councillor Latimer. Okay. There's all in favor? All right, the Economic Development Officer Report, pages 107 to 108, just for receipt. Councillor Saul, Councillor Bullock, all in favor? Okay. The Works report for February 2014. I'm just going to turn to, I want to catch up here. Not my hand. Councillor Latimer, Councillor Saul, comments? We'll receive it. Yeah. The building inspector report for the month of February 2014. Councillor Bullock, Councillor Blanchette. Comments?
It's been busy
During fire inspections.
Well, and I mean, apropos, right? You know, I want to congratulate council on this one, because remember, I think when we took office, we were kind of like, what about fire inspections? That was something that sort of brought up. And congratulate staff that you found a way of getting it done. It's kind of interesting because it's kind of something that the village needs to have happen, but it's not really our bag. It's belongs to the province, but we're the only, so we just picked that one up and run with it. But it was somebody else's thing, and we just took it up and ran with it. No, apparently it's our bag, but it hadn't been done. It hadn't been done in a long time, and now Dean's out there, and I mean, it's bad news for some people, but the reality, the good news is better. Get your extinguishers upgraded, get the things, make sure that things are clear, the signs are there.
It's
So
a
that's
huge
really
safety
good.
thing.
Okay, so motion to receive that report. Mover and seconder on that?
I think so.
Yep. Okay. Financial report. There's a accounts payable report. Motion to receive. Councillor Saul, Councillor Bullock. All in favor? Director of Finance monthly report. Get this out, Councillor Blanchette. So, all in favor? Okay, big news here, sort of overarching, the 5-year financial plan bylaw, number 717, 2014. This is pages 120 to 135 in the electronic agenda. And maybe the CAO can explain where we're at with this. This bylaw, we're looking to move first and second reading, but we still have our role in shaping this thing as we go forward. So we're in the budget process. Do you want to explain where we are?
We've held 2 public meetings.
Because that mic's way over there. Sorry.
Council held 2 public meetings during which they considered the proposed budget for 2014. The result of those meetings was a draft financial plan, which still will go to another public meeting in between second and third readings of this particular bylaw. So there is still opportunity to comment on the bylaw. I'm not sure how much detail you're looking for.
No, that's good.
That's good.
But if people are interested, I think we've done a really, I just think if you actually get into the electronic agenda and go to page, or whatever, some page, if you go to 14.1, you'll see all of the areas that we're deciding to color outside the lines. So you won't go and see a sheet of just a chart of numbers and go, blah. You'll actually see, okay, these are the things that council is sort of working on, flagging, and putting dollar figures against. And then any changes to what's already been put in. So certainly, I found it very, very helpful and very easy to understand. And also puts us right out there because we're not hiding what we're doing. So if you want to see what we're doing, it's right there. All right, and that's just an early proposal. We'll flesh it out. So I am going to move first and second reading of the 5-year financial plan bylaw number 717, 2014.
Second.
Councillor Latimer. All in favor? Okay, council reports.
We've had 2 budget meetings.
Okay.
I have one question.
I had 2 budget meetings and 3 Trans-Canada Highway Association and GM planning meetings. We're moving along big time with that, and momentum is really rolling. We're getting keynote speakers confirmed. Mr. Mayor is going to be welcoming the delegates.
Good.
Correct. We got Chief Rita Yanciw confirmed as well to welcome the delegates, and just trying to finalize some of the details. We're down for the last 2 months, so we're going to be having a lot of meetings between now and then, but it's getting really exciting. So we're getting people that are curious and wondering what's going on. So there'll probably be a report going to the media just to give them an update on planning and carry on with it. Thanks to staff for all their hard work on that. We've been emailing like crazy between McBride and Edmonton and Blue River and Barrier, so it's been good.
Great.
That's it.
I had a tourism meeting and a community forest meeting. I think the ads in the paper this week they're looking for a coordinator for the Mount Robson Marathon coming up this summer. And so if you have experience with coordinating events like that, you can get in touch with Patricia Toney. And the Valemount Community Forest, I just want to bring out the Bridges 2 workshop that's being held at the Community Hall on March 21st from 3 to 9 p.m. Chris Ortner, who's been entrenched in forestry for a lot of years, as well as conflict management. And once the downturn of the forestry economy in 2008, yeah, he's an excellent speaker and presenter. And the workshop is called Moving Forward, Evolving the Local Forest Economy. And the idea is to help to create a business plan for both Valemount and the McBride Community Forest. I don't know how open it is to public, but if anybody in the forest sector wants to be involved, they're more than welcome to be in touch with the Valemount Community Forest and talk to Craig Pryor to see if they can also attend the workshop. That's about all.
And I have a couple meetings, a couple budget meetings, and a couple other meetings. It's all good.
Good.
Yeah. Great, so let's move receipt of council reports. Councillor Latimer, Councillor Stalls. All in favor? No new business? We identified. A couple items just for general consumption. Listed what's any previous council resolutions and calendar of events. But now we move on to section 19, the public comment. Yeah. So are there any comments from the public?
You're allowed to speak. Michael Lewis, 3 Ranges Brewing Company, 1160 Fifth Avenue. Thank you very much for the council and support of our efforts at getting this lounge endorsement. We will positively support the community in every way that we can do it, and hopefully build tourism one beer at a time.
Okay. So I'll just go name by name. Oh, it's okay. Oh.
And I love my trash.
Awesome.
Very good. Very good.
He loves his
Motion to receive those public comments. Councillor Latimer. All in favor? Notice to proceed in camera. Councillor Salt, Councillor Bullock. All in favor?